The four barrels aren't opening up like they should. So I got to fix them. And that means after I fix them, I get a test on them to make sure they work. Let's go take a look. Yeah, feast your eyeballs on this bad ride. 1970 Ford Torino GT in, I don't know what the color is, the beige color. It's got the stripe package on the side, powered by the 351 Cleveland is what we got in here. And we'll take a look under the old hood in a moment. 65,000 miles. Did I say that yet? All original car, except for it has had just a little bit of rust repair. I believe the only thing that's been touched up is maybe a little bit of the rocker under the door and the lower portion of both rear quarters and maybe inner quarters. I don't know. But other than that, from this body line up, and the decals are still original. Nobody's touched the interior. It's all original. You got that dark maroon. We've still got the floor mats in here, dudes and dudettes. AC car, automatic, beautiful, beautiful piece. And yeah. So this is another one of those high school cars. Kind of like if you go back and watch the Buick Special. That was a gal's high school car. Well, this one belongs to a gentleman that lives nearby. This was his high school car. He's had it all its life, and he's managed to hang on to it. And so what, we're talking 71 to... Yeah, we're talking a 54-year-old piece of history here. It does have hideaway headlights. It's been turned off in the shop for about 36 hours now, so they pop back open, but they do work. They're on the list. We've got a list. And nothing huge and major on this thing, and we'll go over it, but we just got a list. This is one of them cars that as it started to get just a little bit finicky, you know, it started to get driven less and less. And that's what happens with a lot of you guys and gals that are owning and collecting these things is, and sometimes it's like, you know, let's just drive the A to B car because, you know, I don't want to have a wheel lock up and be embarrassed or end up, you know, in a situation where the brakes don't work as good as I need them to. But in the end, instead of being a pleasurable experience to go out and get in your hot rod and take it for a spin, you're either on pins and needles, wondering if it's going to make it home, or, you know, for whatever reason, it's just not happy. It doesn't make you happy anymore. Well, that's kind of where we got to with this. It's not a heavy-duty list of stuff here. First of all, it has air shocks on it, and they were like back when he was teens and 20s. He needed a little bit of, you know, needed to have a little more aggressive look to it, he thought. And so he tossed some air shocks on it. And now he just wants to replace on those. We're going to put air shocks back into it. And we just got to get it to where if there's people in the back seat, it doesn't drag tail. So we're going to service it. And I got a question for you all. I've got a couple outlets, but since day one, this car has been serviced with Trop Arctic motor oil. I believe probably the 10W30 variety. Getting hard to find. And there's a couple places out there that I've been able to maybe scrounge some up, but if you got any leads, hit us up in the comments and tippy-tap the keyboards and your phone boards and let us know where a dude or a dudette might walk in through a front door and buy some versus, you know, the Jungle website or the Flea Bay or something like that. So we're going to service on her, give it a good looking over. It needs valve covers, not valve covers, it needs valve cover gaskets. And here is the big 351 4 valve with the AC, power steering, power brake car, and we'll get to the brake issue here in a moment. But let's talk real quick. How do you know? Because there's 351s and there's Windsors and there's Clevelands and what they call modified. Well, the biggest changes are between the Windsor and the Cleveland. And how do you know which one you have right out of the gate? Well, this is a Cleveland. We know that because on the valve covers down here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 valve cover bolts. The Windsors have 6. And then we can also look at the water neck. It comes right out of the engine block, not the intake. It comes straight up out of the block itself. On the Windsors, the water neck is part of the intake, like it is like on a small block Chevy. So right out of the gate, those are two things that you can immediately use to tell and verify, you know, Windsor or Cleveland. So we got the 351C. We're going to put valve cover gaskets on it. He says on road trips, he starts to get just a whisper of maybe there's a drip or two of oil getting on the manifolds. But we're going to put it up in the air a little bit and make sure. We'll do valve covers either way because they probably need to be done. But we'll also give it a little bit of investigating to make sure that there aren't any leakages other places. Yeah, now the brake issue. Here's one for you guys and gals, dudes and dudettes. I know some of you know your stuff that watch our stuff. And so here's what's going on. It's a disc brake front, drum brake back car, power booster, looks like a dual diaphragm booster. What is happening is the brake pedal's kind of hard. It seems like there's some boost there, but immediately the left rear tire and wheel lock up first. And I mean, you get almost no braking except for the rears and especially the driver's rear. Now, don't jump to conclusions, I'm going to tell you that, but go ahead and tippy tap below if you want to and let us know what you think it could be. I'm going to tell you right out of the gate, I'll give you a little bit of a clue. I don't think it's going to be the simple thing that you're going to jump on first. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. But we're going to do a couple videos on this bad ride. Oh, and then the other thing is, and this just makes me smile thinking about it, is the 4 barrels aren't opening up like they should. So I got to fix them. And that means after I fix them, I get a test on them to make sure they work. Yeah, you'll be along for the ride on that one. We won't get too crazy though. Anywho, that's enough rambling around. A quick little intro to the 1970 65,000 mile, 98% all original Ford Torino GT 351 Cleveland. As always, we appreciate every single one of you for watching our stuff. Thanks for sharing and liking and clicking the bell. Subscribe if you haven't. We will see you on the next video.